So first up is Suze Reynolds, who's the, well, what are you now? From Grow Wellington, and she's going to be speaking on Angel HQ.
Thanks, Philip. I'm actually tickled to give this little 10-minute presentation about Angel HQ, not least because almost 1 year and 1 month ago, Mark Rowbottom and I sat in this room with a bunch of fabulous Wellingtonians to talk about the Wellington region's need for an angel network, and we were going to make it go. We had aspirations to have it up and humming within 6 months. It took a little longer than that, but 1 year and 1 month or so after that, we had our first investment evening, which was just the biggest buzz. The thing I love the most about this is that there's tremendous potential to make a real difference for small to medium-sized enterprises. Angel investment, relatively new concept for New Zealand. I think there have been angel networks up and running for at most sort of 3 to 5 years. Obviously our one is brand new. Angel investors are high net worth individuals. Their typical profile, according to some studies out of the US, is they're sort of 55 to 65-year-old males, generally have a university degree and have generally had 1, if not 2 or 3 successful startups, entrepreneurial businesses that have done really well for them. A guy that we had out earlier in the year, a fabulous guy called Bill Payne, who's kind of the guru of angel investing in the States. He was exceptionally lucky in his angel investing in that he earned 200 times one of his investments. So now flies around in his own plane and has a fairly smooth lifestyle really, but he's a tremendous guy, very passionate about angel investing and the role it can play in an economy. Another guy I spoke to from the States, who was the president of the Tech Coast Angels, which is an angel investment group that spans the coast of the US, west coast of the US, talked to me when I said that I was with Mark was starting this up, and I was saying how hard it was. It was really, oh God. He said, look, if it's feeling hard right now, that's the very best thing it can be feeling, because it is hard yards, but you tell people if they're looking to become an angel, it's the very best thing they can do for the community. Not buying Girl Guide cookies, not given to the church. Being an angel investor is where you make the biggest difference in terms of jobs and helping the economy to grow. So an angel investor, it's becoming an increasingly professional asset class. An angel investor will typically invest 5 to 10% of their portfolio across 10 investments or 10 opportunities. For those of you who are looking for investment, our angel network, we've got about 15 or so members, but we've got a good pool of kind of potential angels out there. We are anticipating that we'll have 40 members of our angel club within the next 6 to 8 months. They are looking usually to invest across that portfolio of 10 opportunities, and they'll invest anywhere between $5 grand and $20 grand in each opportunity. But as a club, it gives them the opportunity to diversify that risk and minimise that risk of investing in, you know, if you're in an early stage expansion startup sort of a phase, you are a high risk proposition, there's just no dodging it. But they can diversify that risk by investing across. And with the club, they'll invest anywhere from, I don't know, 100K up to $1 million. We're very keen at Angel HQ to syndicate our deals so that from the outset we've been ensuring that we're really plugged into the New Zealand Angel Network, and just in the last month or so the Angel groups got together for the first time to talk about how they might make that work best. Angel investments can be pre-revenue or post-revenue. They can be just ideas, or they can be something that's been up and running for 3 or 4 years. But as I say, it's an investment of anywhere between $500 and $1 million. We don't have any particular bent with our angels. Some angel groups are focused more on technology, some more on biotech, some more on manufacturing. We are looking to cover the ballpark at the moment. We're trying to get a sense of what best spins our angels' wheels. We do have, if anything, a slightly tech focus, given that the guys that Mark and I first inspired to support this with us were the likes of Rod Drury and Phil McCaw and those guys at Movac. But our angel, our sort of, I guess our profile of our angel spans everything from property investors, but we also have we've got affiliate members too, which encompass Movac. Sam Morgan's Jasmine Investments is an affiliate of ours too. We've also got an outfit called MP Capital. We've also got Rob Cameron's Cameron & Co. are looking to become affiliates as well. We've got a fifth, and I'm not going to be able to remember that straight off. But those affiliates are also part of our network because they can also invest in any startup or any opportunities that we bring. They're also great for making sure that we've got the whole ballpark covered in terms of investments and opportunities that might be in the Wellington region. and make sure that we don't miss anybody either, because they bring their own networks. Needless to say, the likes of Rob Cameron at Cameron Co. has a large span and a large coverage of the sorts of people who might be interested in different opportunities that we bring to the network. We've based our Angel network very closely on the way Ice Angels run their network and their club as well. So we charge a commission on any investment that we bring of 3%, which is, in the market is pretty darn reasonable, really. And we've got quite a structure to the way we process deals. What happens is, if you think you've got something that our club members might like to see, you approach us and we'll talk to you about that, and we'll send you a one-page drop sheet, which has got a whole bunch of little bits, boxes, buttons that you have to push. Then we'll then assess that, make sure that it is something that will appeal to our club, and then we get 2 of the club members to do what we call pre-screening, whereby you'll meet with them for an hour or so, and they'll ask you a series of questions to make sure there are no sort of showstoppers, like mortgaging your father's house or anything along those lines, which will pull a handbrake on it pretty smartly. Once we get through that, and we've got a series of questions and a kind of a rating that we give you under a number of categories. If we then think, yep, this looks good, we'll take it to our advisory group. We've got a really fabulous advisory group at Angel HQ, made up of Sam Knowles from Kiwi Bank, Andrew Simmons, who knows the securities legislation very, very well, and has been closely aligned with some of the Trade Me guys. Dion Mortensen from Movac is on the advisory group, and Simon Holdsworth, who is part of the Datacom family. He's on the advisory group too, and then Nigel Kirkpatrick, our CEO, and Steve O'Connor, who's the general manager here at Creative HQ, is also on the advisory group. And we meet with them once a month, and we'll bring them any prospective deals, and they'll make the final call as to whether or not they think this is something that would appeal to our network of investors, and then we take them to the investment evening. That process, we've tried to be fairly smooth with that to make sure it's as professional as it can be without diminishing the personality and the offering and the kind of package that investment opportunity is bringing. So we have trialled and think we will continue with it using an outfit called Fit to Front, and they've helped these guys get sort of pitch perfect. Mark Rowbotham's Escalator also helps with that. They run pitching workshops to help you focus on the business and the opportunity that you're offering with this investment, rather than, as most people kind of can't help themselves but focus on the product. And the product is not the business opportunity. That's not where the investor is going to make money. He's going to make money out of the business and the opportunity that you're presenting. That's not always an easy distinction for some people to make, but it's very important that you get that sorted. The other thing I think to be aware, if you're bringing an opportunity to the Angel Network, is they will be looking for their exit. So you need to be thinking about 4 or 5 years out how you're going to take that business to the next stage, and what sort of funding, what sort of exit you're anticipating for that opportunity or that business that you've got at the moment. I think, and after the investment evening, what we do at the investment evening is we have a kind of like a 15-minute pitch, and then there are some questions, and then we set up fairly smartly after that investment evening a follow-up meeting, and we have some forms at that evening where the Angel Club members will indicate whether or not they're interested in investing. We set up that meeting, and at that meeting we ask who would be prepared to lead the due diligence, and the deal then just flows from there. We've got some templates in terms of term sheets, but essentially all we are doing, Marie-Claire Andrews and I, who I should have mentioned at the outset, who is the general manager of Angel HQ, who we've appointed to help us really make this rock. We are just facilitators. The club is bought for and by the Angels. So when it comes to negotiating a deal, we just facilitate that meeting and that opportunity, and then we let them run with it. We'll help pull those meetings together. We'll help if you need legal advice. We'll help if you need some templates and that sort of stuff. That's what we're there to help and progress along as well. And then we just keep our fingers crossed, really. Hope like anything it goes off for everybody. And I guess that does actually about sum it up.